Today, I will be responding to the prompt, can attachment theory explain abusive romantic relationships? If so, how? And if not, why? The first verse that comes to mind when I think of this situation is 1 Corinthians 16:14, and I will be quoting from the English Standard Version. It says, "Let all that you do be done in love." And what I like about this verse is that it's very down to earth when thinking about relationships, especially of the religious kind, whether Christian or another religion, when people generally associate love with what God has done for them and what God would like for them. And so when people enter into romantic relationships, they don't think that they'll become abusive. And when they do, it can be life-shattering. In terms of attachment theory, oftentimes people become, of course, attached, and they get associated with what's going on in the relationship. If they have a good attachment with their religion, with their faith, they might believe that God has led them to this person, and that when things start to go wrong, they might not want to leave because they believe God put them there for a reason, that even though these things are happening to them, that it is still a part of God's plan. So unfortunately, you have that aspect of, do I stay or do I go? What does God want for me? And how do I see this attachment with my spouse interfering or helping develop the relationship that I have with Christ? And something interesting that I read in our reading this week, in the article by Rothbart, Schiess, and Posner, the one titled Temperament and Emotion Regulation, there was a section where it talked about defense mechanisms in relationships, and the part about how you have a potential reward along with a potential risk in a relationship, that both the approach and defense mechanisms become active. And this is because your body is trying to figure out whether it's safe or whether it's going to cause harm. And essentially, both of those systems need to be active in order to process information that's coming around. So if we look back at attachment theory, one of the main reasons why people stay is because of that attachment that's developed. If attachment was out of the picture, people might be able to leave, or people might not stay around as long and think that the abuse might end. It might be easier also in terms of addressing this with society. If somebody is trying to leave their spouse but nobody else knows that they're being abusive, one of the main reasons that people don't like to share with family or they don't like to share with others is because they know that that level of attachment is sacred, not just to them, but to other members of society as well. So you don't have the cultural, but you also have the religious and the faith, and then the emotional attachment as well that plays into this relationship.